This is Aleksandr Karelin, a man whose athletic ability can only be described as freakish. His incredible strength combined with an agility that belied his immense size led him to completely dominate the world of Greco-Roman wrestling for 13 years. But he wasn't just stronger and faster than his opponents, he was smarter too. This warrior philosopher literally had a PhD in SUPLEXES, making him perhaps the world's most terrifying intellectual. Aleksandr Karelin was born in 1967 in the Russian Soviet Federative Socialist Republic. He weighed a whopping 12 pounds at birth and showed no intention of letting go of his largeness, outgrowing his father by age 13. In his childhood, he excelled at every sport he took up: boxing, weightlifting, volleyball, basketball, skiing, and swimming. But there was one sport that called to him more than all the rest: wrestling. His massive physique meant Karelin was competing as a super heavyweight from the age of just 16. This was a teenager who could snap you in half. His coach was initially skeptical of him, believing his natural size and strength afforded him a laziness that meant he rarely had to push himself to his limits, and thus would never become an exceptional athlete. This skepticism quickly changed when he oversaw Karelin's training and realized he was only too happy to train like a man possessed every single day. In boreal forests, he spent hours rowing and running, often with a large log on his back. He could do 50 chin-ups in a minute and is said to have clean and pressed 420 pounds. He regularly bench pressed 450 pounds as part of his workouts. He focused on his agility as well though, being capable of backflips and the splits. In short, Karelin trained like a madman. His words, not mine, though I'm inclined to agree. The intensity of his routine paired with his natural gifts made him one of the most dominating athletes of all time. He was undefeated in Greco-Roman wrestling from his start in 1982 until 1987. At the USSR Championships in 1987, a 20-year-old Karelin faced reigning Russian and European champion Igor Rostorovsky and lost by a single point. Determined to avenge his first ever loss, Karelin came back the following championships and beat Rostorovsky while recovering from the flu and a concussion. He then returned to being undefeated for 13 years. He amassed 12 gold medals in European Championships, 9 gold medals in World Championships, and 3 gold medals at the Olympics. For the Soviet Union in 1988, for the unified team of the former Soviet Union in 1992, and for Russia in 1996. For 13 years, he terrorized the world of wrestling. His speed meant he could outmaneuver you, his technique meant he could out-wrestle you, and his strength meant he could do whatever the hell he wanted to you. His signature move was a reverse body lift, typically only seen in lighter weight divisions, and practically unheard of for super heavyweights. But Karelin was so strong, he didn't have a problem picking up a 280-pound man and slamming him on his head. This move became known as the Karelin lift, and many a match ended with a super heavyweight ragdolling around in Karelin's arms. Come the 2000 Olympics, Aleksandr Karelin had a single loss to his name and 887 wins. For the past 6 years, not one person had even scored a single point against him. In the finals, he faced Rulon Gardner from Team USA. Unlike the experienced Karelin, this was Gardner's first Olympics. He was a simple dairy farmer, but he did have one advantage going into the match: his massive frame. How much of an advantage this was quickly became apparent, as early in the match Karelin went for his signature lift, but was unable to hoist the massive Gardner up. The first round ended with no points. The second round began in a clinch, during which Karelin briefly released his grip to reposition his hold. This was a mistake, however, as due to a recent rule change, Karelin breaking his hold meant Gardner would be awarded 1 point. The second round ended, and with just 1 point between the wrestlers, the match went to overtime. The Karelin lift was attempted once again, and was once again unsuccessful. For the first time in 13 years, Aleksandr Karelin was defeated 1-0. Now supposedly Karelin hadn't been aware of the recent rule change that awarded Gardner his one and only point. Did he complain? Nope, he very graciously admitted defeat, leaving his shoes on the mat as a sign of his retirement. He had 889 matches in his career, won 887, some of which while badly injured, and lost 2, each by only a single point. So good was Karelin that his nickname was The Experiment, and many believed conspiracies that claimed he was somehow designed or groomed by the Soviet Union to be an inhuman athlete. Aleksandr Karelin is still widely considered to be one of the greatest Greco-Roman wrestlers in human history, and one of the greatest athletes of his time. But Karelin was no mindless brute. He was descendant of intellectuals who had been exiled to Siberia in the past. He was a student of literature, poetry, opera, and ballet. He holds a degree in law as well as a PhD in sports science. His PhD is titled Methods of Execution of Suplex Throw Counters. Incredible. Karelin is the sort of fella you can easily imagine living thousands of years ago, an unbeatable warrior with a mind for science and the arts. I imagine if he had lived that long ago, we'd still be talking about him to this day. Instead, we get to live at the same time as him and bear witness to his incredible feats with our own eyes. This is why he's not just considered a hero in Russia, but across the world. Shortly before his wrestling retirement, he served with the Russian tax police and retired with the rank of colonel. I'm always telling you guys not to mess with the tax man, and this is another great example. In 1999, Vladimir Putin invited this Russian hero to enter politics. And he did. He has remained with the government ever since. In 2020, he was appointed senator in the Federation Council. So he's a statesman too. Maybe we'll see him bust out some of the wrestling moves on his political opponents. I'd love to see a politician take a powerbomb. Speaking of which, why not powerbomb that subscribe button and Karelin lift my sub count? That way you'll get to see a new video from me every week, on top of the massive catalogue of videos I've already made. And why not follow me on Twitter too? Alrighty then, I'll see you next week.